I have in front of me a press release um, written on the 1st of December 2023. Um, and it reads, I'm just going to read the introduction. It's addressed to a member. Amanaat Minorities duly constituted executives met with the CEO and some board members of the Amanaat Investment Holdings on the 23rd of November 2023, the purpose of which was to I beg your pardon, find each other to unlock shareholder confidence in AIH. To talk to us about this is Mohammed Pir, the chairperson of Amanaat Minorities and social justice activist. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the program, Brother Mohammed.
Walaikum salam and good morning to the listeners and Jazakallah for the opportunity.
You are welcome. We are very pleased that you could make the time for us this morning. Brother Mohammed, would you provide us with background to the reason for this press release?
So basically, we've been trying to find a solution for the distressed shareholders as well as others who wish to exit this company. I'm sure many people are aware that this company has been under a cloud of suspicion and maladministration, etc. And we've been trying for almost a good part of a year and maybe 1.5 years, and we came to the point where we said, well, it's now that we find ourselves, or then what you call members took a decision that they would want to go the legal avenue. So we then had this meeting with the board, and there was also other issues on the agenda, which it's not on that press release that we were discussing.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently the meeting didn't go as well as we expected, and this is the reason why we advised our members accordingly.
Right. So when you say the meeting didn't go as expected, what happened?
So uh, to be what you call frank, we went there for finding a solution in terms of how do we get our members to exit Amanat in terms of their shareholding, because obviously we've what you call exhausted the the share. There was a I don't know if you've seen it, but there was a
Mm-hmm.
correspondence in the previous months where we had a meeting with them, and they said we will look for buyers at around 750 a share
Mm-hmm.
to exit the shareholders. And we went on a rigorous what you call it a roadshow to find buyers for them, and we failed to do so. So we went back to the board for this meeting, and we said, look, we failed to do that, and we need to come up with another solution to get a buyer. And in that meeting, the one that we're talking about now,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
we told them what happened, and they said, well, then unfortunately there's nothing else you can do because Amanat can't pay anyone out, and there's no other way. So we said,
Oh,
so basically what we're saying is that everyone is going to be held hostage in this company, and there was
right,
no answer. So that's basically what happened in a nutshell.
right. Well, what happens to the shareholders?
Well, this is the big discussion that we're having, and our members are quite furious, and they're quite angry, as well as, if you look at it, that the directors wanted a salary, and besides just asking for a salary, which is reasonable, but they wanted the back pay of all the months that they were there, that they purported to say that they're working for on a pro bono basis. And this was quite what you call unpalatable, to be honest, and we didn't accept that argument. So it was fortunate that many other shareholders came to the understanding that it was reasonable, that obviously you can't be getting paid while other people are earning a dismal 1 to 2% return, and they voted against it. There was a special general meeting called on the 3rd of December, and they voted against those what you call resolution on that particular resolution. There were other resolutions which went past, and we've taken legal advice, and we're busy with it, and we're going
Mm-hmm.
to see what decision we're going to take forward on that one. But
Mm.
again, our members are more interested in, because now these our members are constituted of pensioners, widows,
Right. I saw that. Oh.
some masjids and madrasas, and they don't have the legal ability to put money down to fight legally, which we
Mm,
understand that Amanat does have it. And I think on the press release was mentioned that when we gave them, after this, preceding this meeting, we gave them another correspondence in terms of a letter. They
mm,
then referred us to Shepston Wiley, which is their attorneys on record. And then
mm,
we approached our legal team, Norton Rose and Fulbright, to then
mm.
handle the matter from there. And this is where we're at the moment. And we basically taking legal advice to see which is the right way to proceed.
Right. So this does indicate transparency in terms of your commitment to your shareholders. So you've now come out and done an open press release on your side of the story, so to speak. Do you think? Well, you're still in engagement, I'm sure, with your legal advisors. However, what do you hope to achieve?
Well, what we're
Oopsie daisy, we have a bad
hoping to achieve is
connection.
we trying not to go the legal route and regular.
Right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can. Sorry, we lost you for a
Okay.
minute. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what I was saying was we're trying to avoid the legal route. We're trying to avoid the regulatory authorities and stuff like that. We're trying to get an amicable solution, and we're not. And the members are not demanding any specific amount, and they're saying they just want to exit this fund so they can use this money in a better way, where they can earn a better income, where they can live. Because remember, this company is going to, and this is the projections given by the board in the last SGM on the 3rd of December, stating that in the next 3 years, they'll probably get 2% return per annum,
Mm,
which is quite ludicrous. It's quite ridiculous. I mean, we have accountants that help us on a consultancy on pro bono who's told us that why is this company existing if this is the projections they're giving? So obviously there's certain aspects that obviously shareholders are not aware of. There's the coral matter that was settled. I mean, if we say that certain individuals were implicated in misappropriation of funds, and suddenly you're making side deals with them, and then you can't disclose it, non-disclosure. We've asked in that meeting that we had that what was the amount. They said they can't. There was a non-disclosure agreement signed, etc. It was very, I mean, the
mm,
matter is very wishy-washy. It's not, and the shareholders are also concerned about this, that there's no transparency coming from the company itself in terms of what's going on with settlements of the implicated parties. Remember, there's a 2 billion rand uh, write-off, or call it that, it's proposed to be write-off, that they've valued what you call Amanat at 2 billion rand less. So obviously 2 billion rand eroded the fund. Where did it go? Why did it go? Answers need to be given, and no answers are coming. Every time it's sub judice, every time we're still investigating. I mean, it's been, as we're saying, about 2 years, and there's been no progress on this front. So people are quite concerned, and many
mm,
of the members live on this money, and this is the concerning part. They live on it, where they put their pension. They expect
mm.
now at a pensionable age they need to have access to these funds, and these funds are gone. So this is basically where the situation is. It's quite sad, because
It
the whole
is.
community in Durban, especially, I mean, Amanat is quite a taboo topic. People don't like to talk about it. We even approach
Mm.
some certain ulama and certain organizations, and we've got no response from them at all.
Goodness. I'm looking at item number 4 on your agenda. It reads the concerns regarding those facing difficulty and the need to exit from this investment were not acknowledged by the directors. Islamically, this is regarded as oppression. Now, already, the sense is that Amanat is run by Muslims. I'm sure it's based on Islamic principles. This is a very difficult situation to be in because we are answerable. You've even boldly quoted the Prophet ﷺ at the end of this press release, where it reads, "Fear the prayer of the oppressed. There is no barrier between it and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." What can you say about this?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the fact that the board, sent us to say go speak to our attorneys, and they closed the door on us, that tells you that's a problem for any person in terms of confidence, in terms of an engagement. I mean, you don't shut the door on negotiation, on diplomatic channels, unless there's a reason to do so. And this is why we found it very, very concerning. And we also say, regarding the oppression, if people need to exit the fund, they should be allowed to exit the fund. There should be provisions allowing them to. I mean, there's freehold assets worth 1.8 billion in plus minus. So I mean, surely there can be some assets sold, and there should be some fund there to pay off the people. Obviously, they probably won't get whatever they've put in, because
Mm.
obviously there's certain things happening in the background. But as long as they can get some sort of lump sum that they can use in another investment or another business or whatever it is, and they
Hmm.
can live off that, and that would be an amicable solution in our eyes.
Right. Well, let's hope you can come to some sort of an amicable agreement here. Jazakallah so much for enlightening us on why you had released this to the press. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we conclude?
I'd just like to just make a humble appeal to all the listeners, and maybe some of the larger shareholders and individual, that those who can assist by any means can contact us, and we're willing to engage anyone.
And how do they get in touch with you?
We've got an email. Can I share it on the air?
Yes, certainly. Go ahead.
It's amanatminorities@gmail.com. Alternatively, they can contact us on our landline 031 309 6871.
All right. That's amanatinvestments@gmail.com, or you
No,
may
it's
call.
Amanat Minorities. Amanat
Oh,
Minorities
minorities. I beg your
at
pardon.
gmail.com.
All right. Amanaat Minorities at gmail.com and 031 309 6871. Should you wish to get in touch with the Muhammad as the chairperson of the Amanaat Minorities. Jazakallah khair so much for your time this morning, Muhammad.
Jazakallah, and thank you for the opportunity.
It's our pleasure. All right, that was Mohammed Peer, chairperson of Amanat Minorities and social justice activist. Next up, we speak to Dr. Shakira Chunara, who is an activist and award winning public health practitioner. We discuss with her on her open letter to the president, President Cyril Ramaphosa.